campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have. Do you mind talking to us about it? And that's what I did. So I didn't run to nobody. And so that was real misleading to me.
Well, I didn't say you ran to anybody. I said that you had taken a pivot.
Well, you said I ran over to the Trump team instead of the Biden team. That's just not true.
Well, but you are working with the Trump instead of the Biden team and giving you heat for it. What do you say to them?
Well, I'm willing to work with both teams, but I'm just working with whoever is willing to work with me. So the Trump campaign came to me and asked me to explain to them some of the contract with Black America. That's what I did. I'm not playing more of these games, these political games. We're not part of a team. We have very broad problems, especially the wealth gap in this country when it comes to Black Americans. So I'm going to whoever's in power, and I'm going to speak to them about our problems specifically. I'm not going there talking about minorities. I'm not going there talking about people of color or diversity or none of that stuff. I'm going there for Black Americans, the ones who are the descendants of slaves. And that's what I'm going to talk to anybody who's in power with that. So if anybody got a problem with that, it seems like a personal problem.
Well, here's the problem, and it is very personal, as you know, for a lot of people of color, because they'll say, well, why would you pick Trump when he says there's no such thing as systemic inequality?
Say that? I'm not picking nobody. He's the president.
But why do you think he'd want to do something for the community when he says no such thing as systemic inequality?
What's going on, Juicy Love?
I don't know what he want to do. I just know what the man said. I know what he said to the country. I've never met Donald Trump. So I don't know what he's going to do. I just know what he said he was going to do. So both of them have a plan. Both of them say they're going to do something. And who knows what's really going to happen after November 3rd. Nobody knows from each side. We're all hoping that candidates keep their campaign promises. So that's just it.
So let's look at it this way. I think that you're right to be skeptical. Let's start with the Democrats, because even though there is a traditional connection between Black voters and the Democrats, you could also say you've been let down or forgotten by Democrats in a lot of situations that would have mattered. Then you say, all right, so now what makes one side better than the other? That's where you get in trouble, which is, do you really think that Donald Trump can be trusted as much as you could trust Joe Biden?
I don't think I'm not trusting any of them. I'm just going by action. That's all I'm going by. I'm not going by words. I'm not going by rhetoric, not going by media spin, not going by none of that. You know, I'm not on nobody's team. I'm not on Team Blue, not on Team Red.
So then I have that wrong.
I'm an independent person, and I believe that's what Black people need to do, is become independent, and we need to get something for our vote. You know, that may not happen, but it's gonna happen.
It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Look, if I had brought you here to fight with you, you would have known it. What I'm saying is, I think I did get it wrong, and I want to make sure I get it right. So saying you're working with the Trump team is wrong. What you did was, when they asked to talk to you about it, you said yes. If Biden had asked to talk to you about it now, you would have gone to them the same way. It's not about you choosing anything. It's you working with everybody who's got a chance of doing anything.
I'm working with whoever's in power. Yeah, I'll work with both. Whoever's in power, I'm going to work with. So whoever wins, they'll hear from me.
Okay, so I'm glad you came to clear it up. So Ice Cube is not with the Trump campaign. He's just given his ideas, and anybody who wants to do something with him, fine. Do you believe they are doing anything with your ideas?
I believe, they looked at the contract with Black America and they updated their plan, but it's their plan. I have my plan. My plan is broad. It goes beyond the public sector. It goes into the private sector, banks, even the movie industry. So we got to deal with a lot of different, companies, corporations, and even government when it comes to solving this problem. I believe it's a non bipartisan problem. Uh, I believe it's a bipartisan problem when it comes to the issues, when it comes to blacks in America and what's going on. It's not a Democrat problem. It's not for them to solve. It's not for the Republicans to solve. It's for both of them to solve. They do it when it comes to debt ceiling.
And there you have it. He said a little bit more of all of that. What's going on, Cashbag Mookie, Tory Love, Juicy Love, Star Child, T-Lin, Nisha. What's going on, everybody? Listen, I wanted to make a live stream to talk about kind of the legacy of gangster rap. Let me go back to my photo of these gangster rappers. What you just saw there was you just saw Ice Cube, one of the gangster rappers from the West Coast, who basically built his whole legacy. His legacy started off gangster rap. You know, fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Young brother got it bad because I'm around. But I really want to talk about these things because you have a bunch of people here who were quote unquote gangster rappers, which gangster rap in and of itself is oxymoronic. Because if you gangster and you talking, you violating the rules of the game to begin with. That's the number one thing. If I'm a gangster and I'm sitting up in here and I'm talking, I'm violating the rules of the game to begin with. Now, you got some cats that rap that gangster shit, and some of the stuff that they say is truer than others. But in and of this, you got all these supposed to be gangster rappers here, and these folks are family men. You know what I mean? This is, what's the word that I'm looking for? This has plagued the black community for the last 30 plus years, since about 1985 up until present day. And what Ice Cube essentially did was he started Cool G Rap. There you go. Cool G Rap. Yeah. You know, essentially what Ice Cube did was he came in under a principle of rebelling against the system. He rebelled against the system. Now he is of the system. He's a power player and he's working with the power players in the system. And they got to him. Now, the Trump Platinum Plan, let me see here. This is the Trump Platinum Plan here. And essentially the Platinum Plan, it's a start, but to me, it's something that shouldn't even be taken seriously. And I know folks think that I'm a Trump supporter, but this Platinum Plan, it shouldn't even be taken seriously. Okay? Because what this is a bunch of loans. This is a bunch of loans. It's a increased access to capital in black communities by almost $500 billion. So by $500 billion, they want to increase your access to that type of money. And you gotta be, when you dealing with white supremacy, you have to be hip on all these little catchwords that they got, such as increased access to capital and all of that type of stuff. Because why the fuck am I trying to increase my access to capital? Why come you can't just give me the money to begin with? If you were really trying to solve the overarching problem, then you go in and you make the necessary changes. Why do we have to campaign? Why are we getting campaign strategies to say, well, we're going to tackle these issues? No. We don't need to campaign for you to do something when you are the sitting president and have been the sitting president for the last 4 years. Okay, time, listen, we gotta know what the fuck you have already done. I don't want to promise of what's to come. I want to know what you've been doing. Because the best prognosticator of what you're going to do is what you have already done. So I want to know what it is that you have already done. What's your track record on all of that? Okay, when we had all of these brothers, right? And let me flip my screen back right here. All right, we got all these brothers here. And with all these guys here, each one of them is an artist. Okay, but each one of these people have pulled the wool over your eyes. Tupac is the son of Afeni Shakur. He was a quote-unquote gangster rapper. He shot at the police. He went to prison, etc., etc. However, Thug Life, it was a marketing campaign. It was a promotion. This guy was a method actor. And his method acting is essentially what got him killed at the end of the day. He was playing and perpetrating gangster, but wasn't truly a gangster. He was Pac, and I might ruffle some feathers when I say this shit. Pac was the type of nigga that was gangster when he got around other gangsters. He was a gangster when he got around other gangsters, but in and of himself, he was not a gangster like that. He ran over there and he punched and kicked out Orlando Anderson, and that's what got him murdered. Moving right on along. Notorious B.I.G. Rolling with Diddy. All these guys were promoting this. He's a revolutionary type of guy. These guys, I hear what you're saying, Cashbag Mookie. These guys destroyed the black community, though. These fools destroyed the black community. And we got to be real about this shit. All of this gangster rap shit, all of this come from fatherlessness in the household, in the home. This shit come from fatherlessness. In lieu of not having a father there, then you turn to all these gangsters or gang type of figures, the pimps, hoes, the drug dealers, the pushers, any nigga that got more than $20 at his pocket at a time, at any given time, is quote unquote an icon or a role model or something to aspire to. This is their thinking, not mine. Anybody that got money in their pocket, more than a few dollars in their pocket at a time, is the aspiration. At least according to them. Okay, we got Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg I'm still D.O.G. I'm loped out. Niggas hit LA and get their chain snatched. But again, the guy got married in the early 90s. He been married. He's a family man, a grandfather, all of this shit. You can't be a loving, caring father and a gangster, man. You got to pick a side. And these folks still promote and encourage this gangster rap, this gangster lifestyle. But being a gangster, a gang member as a man, is not conducive for manhood. Either I'm going to be loyal to the set or I'm going to take care of my family. These folks promote one agenda to the people, to the mind of the youth, and then they select a agenda or they follow a different doctrine for their own life. And so what we are listening to is audible theatrics. They are selling stories. But when your children hear this, your children hear murder was the case that they gave me. I hope you paying attention to my ambitions as a rider. I'm ready to die right here tonight and motherfuck their life. Think of all of the thousands of black boys Not so much the girls, even though there have been black women that have died, but think of all the people on the screen. Think about how their music has encouraged the destruction of the black youth, and how their music has, for the most part, aided in black men being murdered, black on black violence, gang violence, all the rest of that shit. You know, you got Easy. Easy was a real case by all accounts, but then you got Ice Cube, and this is Ice Cube. And this is Ice Cube here.
Right about now, NWA quarters in full effect. Judge Dre residing.
This is Cube.
In the case of NWA versus the police department,
This is
prosecuting
Eazy-E.
attorneys are
Dr.
MC
Dre.
Red, Ice Cube, and Easy motherfucking E. Order. Ice Cube, take the motherfucking stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth,
This
and
is
nothing
what
but the
they were
truth
for.
up your black ass? You goddamn right. Won't you tell everybody what the fuck you gotta say?
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. Fuck that shit cause with a badge and a gun to be beaten on and thrown in jail. We can go toe to toe in the middle of a sale. Fucking with me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product. Thinking every nigga is selling narcotics. You rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo rolling in the Enzo. Be the police out of shape, and when I finish, bring the yellow tape to tape off the scene of the.
Why ain't he saying this shit when he get on CNN? Why didn't Cube say that when he was on CNN? I'm gonna tell you what Cube said when he was on CNN. Here we go, right here.
They do it when it comes to getting into some wars. They seem to come together when it's something that really affects America. And I don't think nothing affects America more than the situation that black Americans find themselves in. This country is coming apart at the seams, and it's not going to come together after January 3rd, no matter who's the president, unless we deal with this wealth gap.
You have the economics. All of it extends from poverty, which is an extension of opportunity, which is an extension of a system that doesn't give equal opportunity, and you see it everywhere.
What's going on,
Hiring,
Linda?
education, finance, all of it. So acutely, we've been looking at what happens when policing goes wrong in communities. It doesn't give you concern that the president has handled police violence the way he has in terms of his commitment to work on any of the issues that you think are important?
We've been dealing with police violence in this country from day one. So police violence is just part of our life here. So, you know, the thing is this, once we get some capital, we'll be treated better. This is a capitalistic society.
True.
And if you ain't got no money, you see how people get treated on the streets when they ain't got no money.
Not just money.
So, where was all of the fuck the police shit at when he was talking to this anchor over here at CNN? Where was the fuck the police? Where was the vitriol that he put in to pump your kids up to get them incarcerated when he was talking to the CNN anchor? It's all audible theatrics. It's audible theatrics. That's all that it is. It don't sway anything one way or the other. This is audible theatrics. They are selling imagery. They selling visual imagery. They selling you a whole bunch of stuff that they themselves ain't gonna do, that they want you and your children to do, and get locked up. These guys, and I'm gonna go back to the image, have aided the power structure in locking black men up. Because black boys, when we are dealing with the issue of fatherlessness in America, then we have young boys who don't have a male image, and they look up to these guys right here who are on the surface exuding manhood. They are hypermasculine. The hypermasculinity gets out of control, therefore it becomes gangster raps. Then what's the biggest part of being a manhood? For me to kill another man. And then once you kill another man, then you have to deal with the penal system or the justice system of wherever the fuck you at. So when you dealing with the justice system of the law of the land and the law of the land, then you see these men getting funneled into the prison industrial complex. You got Nate Dogg and Jada Kiss. Let's see this. Nate Dogg and Fabulous. Here you go.
Yeah. Y'all can't deny it. I'm a fucking rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Yeah. Got skills in the trunk with me. Okay. Switching lanes to a buck with me. That's right. Y'all can't deny it. I'm a fucking rider. You don't wanna bang with me. Yeah. And you know I brought my gang with me. Okay. Niggas trip, I got my thing with me.
Yo, if they want it, cowards get.
I can't deny it. I'm a fucking rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. But that was a remix. I mean, come on. That was a remix. Where did he get that from?
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to us. Why would you want to? You don't want to mind like the police busting get down for his, but they can't constantly money over bitches. I'm a straight rider.
This is where this bullshit comes from.
My ambitions as a rider.
Where did it come from?
So many battlefield scars while driven in plus cars. It's like it's a rap star. It's nothing without God. Was born rough and rugged. I dress in the man public. My attitude was fuck it. These motherfuckers love it to be a soldier. Must maintain composure at ease. Don't like it's complicated. Only what you make it to be. And my ambitions as a rider. The got you while she hot and horns go up inside her. Then I spit some game in the ear. Go to the telly ho. You put with money in the bin. This bitch I'm belly broke. I'm smoking bomb at E feeling crucial. From player to player, the gang fight, the feelings mutual. From hustling and praying to begging motherfuckers to pay.
That's that Pac shit. That's Pac. These are the soundtracks to your kids going to prison. These niggas engineered the soundtrack to your kid going to prison.
Hey, yo, man, you remember that shit
This is
Easy
the
did a while back?
soundtrack
Motherfucker said wasn't
to
gonna work.
prison.
That crazy shit.
Yeah, the stupid shit, man.
Dope.
Hey, yo,
How many of
Easy.
y'all know this song?
Hey, man, we should come off the piano for a minute, man, and bust this crazy shit.
Woke up quick at about noon. Just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins. Before my mother starts bitching about my friends. About to go and damn near went blind. Young niggas at the pad throwing up gang signs. Ran in the house and grabbed my clip with the Mac 10 on the side of my hip. Bailed outside and pointed my weapon. Just as I thought, the fools kept stepping. Jumped in the foe, hit the juice on my ride.
I gotta get drunk before my day begins. How the fuck you gonna be productive getting drunk before your day begins? Man, I was already successful before I started drinking and smoking and shit. I ain't gonna even lie to you. When I ain't had shit, when I was broke, I wasn't drinking and smoking, nigga. I was trying to figure out a way to get the fuck up out the ghetto. Real talk. I was trying to find out how to get out the trap. How Jeezy and T.I. and them be talking about trap or die, nigga. I wasn't thinking about shooting no niggas. I wasn't thinking about doing shit other than getting out the trap, cause that shit is awful. These motherfuckers made it sound like the ghetto was the place to be. Like this shit was something to aspire to. The ghetto ain't nothing to aspire to, nigga. Motherfuckers are in the hood because they have to be. Dick Gregory said it best. He said white folks got a community. Black folks don't have a community because black money don't circulate. Black folks got a neighborhood and there ain't shit neighborly about it, so it's just the hood. It's just the hood. You getting this false doctrine by all of these fake gangsters. Again, the game is gonna cost you. I done been all around the world. I done been coast to coast in the United States. I got pictures in New York, I got pictures in LA, I got pictures in Vegas, pictures out in Arizona, in Texas. I done been all over the world. The real true game only gets given to you. The game gets passed down to you. The real true game in the world, man, that shit get passed down to you. It ain't no shit that you can just listen to and somebody gonna tell you, somebody gonna put it on a record. You have to pay for the game. Real talk. You gotta pay for the game. What's y'all thoughts on this shit? What has gangster rap done for you? What has it, how has it inspired what you do? Or inspired what you do, if you will? How has it inspired what you do? But to move right on along and get back on this platinum plan, we have the rappers that was selling us the gangster shit at the top of the list, but when they addressed white America, they went on that gangster shit. So why did you sell it to our kids if you yourself didn't believe in it, or you yourself don't operate under those principles? That don't make sense. If you don't operate under those principles, why did you sell that to our youth? And this is the black agenda here. Number one is they're gonna create opportunity. What is that? Okay, what is that? Give us something tangible. Don't give us all of this elusive wording. But when we got the gangster rappers creating our political agendas, why come they not keeping the same fucking energy? Damn, man, my eye twitching. Why aren't these people keeping the same energy? By achieving historic employment levels for black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for businesses, Trump has been committed to ensuring all black Americans can achieve the American dream. Again, what is opportunity? What is access to capital? Who is going to oversee these things? That's not a real true agenda. By signing into law the celebrated First Step Act, Trump bought common sense criminal justice reform. Okay. And we still, even with the First Step Act, we still have to ask the question of why is it that, again, we still have people who are incarcerated on drug offenses. But now you are legalizing marijuana. If we legalize one of them, we should legalize all of them. Because all drug charges, everybody with a drug charge, that drug charge should be overturned. Everybody who is currently convicted of a drug charge should have to take a plea deal for tax evasion. Because that should be the only crime. Drugs should not be a crime. The crime should be amended to tax evasion. You should be able to get sentenced out. And once you get sentenced out, then you do your time for tax evasion and you go ahead and come home. But why is it that you got to do 10, 15 to 30 years? Like you got Big Meech. Big Meech been in jail since 2005. Big Meech been in jail for 15 years for a cocaine conspiracy. All drug convictions need to be overturned because drugs are now starting to be legalized. America don't feel the same way about it now that they felt about it then. Those folks have family. They should come home. Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, what's Trump's other buddy, Blagojevich, I think his name Eddie D. Bartello, the guy who used to own the 49ers. All of these people got to come home and get out of jail for corona, but then you still got black men who are still in jail. You still got black men who are still in jail. What's really going on with that? What's the real issue? Now, as a first step to provide long-term funding to historically black colleges and universities, the administration continues to seek immediate and generational advancement for black Americans. Now, to that, I want to talk about something. Stay with me. Now, let's really talk about this. Let's talk about it. Okay. So, when they start talking about all these HBCUs, I want to turn y'all attention to something real quick. I really want to turn y'all attention to something. All right, now, hold on, let me find y'all. Those of y'all who are with me, I appreciate y'all being with me. These are black youths. Okay, these are black college kids. And let me pull up another picture. Let me pull up another picture. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me pull up a photo. I appreciate each one of y'all for sticking around with me, because you know these ain't the gossipy ass topics and stuff like that folks like, but you know these are still meaningful conversations. Okay, Linda, do you know what this is? Do y'all know what this is? This is Girard's College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, when we are talking about those HBCUs, because like this is a historically black college and university. Excuse me, I gotta get some water. This is a historically black college and university. Now, this college let me pull this motherfucker's picture up. This college was founded by Stephen Girard. This is Stephen Girard. This is Stephen Girard. Stephen Girard is the founder of Girard's College, right? This college right here, he found this college. He started this college. This is a HBCU. Now, he found this college by stealing money from Toussaint Louverture. The way that he founded this college was by stealing money from a Haitian military general. Okay? And what they did to Toussaint Louverture was they lured Toussaint. See, what happened was the way that you get the Louisiana Purchase in America that doubled the size of America was the fact that the French government was forced to sell their rights to the American territory because they had lost the war in Haiti. The Haitians whooped their ass. Once they lose the war to Haiti, then so you know about it. Yup, because you got like a French last name in a way, Linda. But the way that they lose the war, they lost the war to Haiti because they all went over to the Haitian territory about 1804. Now, when they go over to the Haitian territory, then they got their ass whooped. They got crippled. They lost so much money, so many men, that they was forced really to sell off their stake in the land to kind of recover. And this is what got Napoleon Bonaparte essentially exiled from being the general of the French army. Now, when when Napoleon got exiled and they sent him somewhere else to cast away and to die, then Napoleon had essentially led them into fucking bankruptcy for the most part. And so the war was over. They would pretty much count up their costs. And so they told Toussaint, man, come on, man, we want to talk to you. We want to holler at you. And then when they lured him over there, and when they lured him over there, they trapped his ass up, they threw him in jail, and they stole his money. Now, once they stole his money, Stephen Girard stole his money and then essentially built the Girard College with that dude's money. Even the chief of them all. Oliver Otis Howard. Oliver Otis Howard. This is who the Howard University is named after. I don't know about you, but it look like a white man to me. And so how can you be honoring black folks? How, as black folks, can we be proud, have any type of esteem about ourselves if our chief black school is named after a fucking white man? Howard should be renamed the most blackish, niggerish name possible. That shit should be called fucking Quentin Jackson University. Fuck that shit. Quentin Jackson University. Or Carl Williams University. Because you know it's hella black folks named Williams. Keisha Jackson University. But these are our schools. And then they go down. Morehouse was white. Spelman is white. All of these HBCUs are named after white folks, but they are historically black colleges and universities. And the story that they not telling us when we looking at this plan is that right here, okay, it says, okay, prosperity. Helping out these HBCUs ain't really gonna do shit for us. Don't give my kids no more college. College has hurt the black community. College ain't helped the black community. All that college do is prepare you to go and beg a white man for a job. Give us home ec classes. Give us vocational skills. Give us 18-month programs where for every black foundational black American, give us 2 years of free programs. Free programs. You should get a card. Say, I was born a nigga. Everybody should get a I was born a nigga card. Once you get the I was born a nigga card, Go to school for free. Learn how to be a mechanic, an electrician, a carpenter, a bricklayer. Learn how to do construction, agriculture, horticulture, how to fix small motors and shit. Teach us vocational skills where we can come out of school, out of high school, out of some type of vocational school. Set us up a bank account, and part of that school, at the very end of school, towards your last 3 months of school, they need to have somebody in place to form an LLC. Once they form that LLC, you coming out of school and you starting your own business. Welding. I went to vocational school in high school. I still to this day don't have no degrees. I got a bunch of certifications. I'm certified out the wazoos. But I don't have any degrees. And my girl, she got 4 degrees. I make like $40,000 more than what she make. I make $40,000 more than what she make. And this is just off of my regular slave plantation job. This just off my plantation job. This ain't got shit to do with this ain't got nothing to do with none of my other stuff. Not none of my dog businesses, not none of it. Just straight up plantation job, my plantation job to her plantation job. I make $40,000 more than what she make. Then I'm gonna tell you something. She got an MBA. And the NBA don't teach you shit about business in the real world. It don't teach you shit about business in the real world. Now, if you want to manage some white folks' business, that's fine. But what black folks need the information on is, how do I go from being broke and not having no capital at all to having all of the capital in the world? I'm going to tell y'all something, right? Because y'all are with me. I got 10 folks with me. So, I say I don't really talk about the R. Kelly shit because it's messy. But, since ain't nobody fucking listening, no way, let me go ahead and help y'all up on some game. The reason why R. Kelly is in a predicament that he is in, right, is because of you got these factors in play, right? You had 2 mayors of Chicago, Richard J. Daley, the father, and Richard M. Daley, the son. Together, these dudes have been the mayor of Chicago for 44 years. Richard M. Daley, the son, had a son named Patrick. And what Richard M. Daley's administration is as the mayor, he was the mayor from 1989 to 2011, right before Rahm Emanuel left Obama's administration to become the mayor of Chicago. Now, what they would do, this is the way that they scams would work. Okay, this is what they would do. They would create LLCs, bid on. The whole situation is messy, for real. The whole situation is messy. Like, I know, trust me, I know way more than the average Joe. But that being said, though, they would create LLCs, right? And once they would create these LLCs, what they would do is they would take some starter capital, like they would take venture capital, right? So it's no different than how, all right, we got a handful of folks who are up in here right now. So let's just say that we all wanted to start a business, right? So let's just say if I say, all right, Trent, I got 10 grand. Linda, give me your 10 grand. Terry, give me your 10 grand. Shireen, give me yours. Mahogany Peace, give me yours. Give me yours. Unique Thoughts. Now we got about 60 grand. We take that, put that in what they call a venture capitalist company. Or we take that to like an alderman. Now they got contracts up for bid in Chicago. What they would do is, I'll walk to you with this 60 grand. You give me a contract for $7 million. I'll put 60 G's in your pocket. You give me 7 million. And this is literally what they would do. You give me this type of kickback, I'm giving you that. And so the fact that you would write something in a plan that will say like, oh, well, we support the black agenda and we supporting black folks and we supporting black this and black that. That shit ain't supporting black folks at all. That ain't supporting no black folks. That's supporting you and your pride and your motherfucking ego. That's what they're supporting, but that ain't supporting no goddamn black people. Not at all. You ain't supporting no black folks with that shit. You supporting yourself. Okay? And this is what Trump is doing. This is what Trump's administration is about. Okay? And so when we are looking at these things, and this is supposed to be a black agenda, these black agendas don't seek to cast out all of these illegal kickbacks that are given. Okay, what about giving us some of the kickbacks? Then they mad because we saying, well, shit, y'all gotta buy a vote. Listen. They sell you a bunch of shit they don't believe in themselves. And they laughing while they selling it to you too. They laughing while they selling it to you. They are over here, this platinum plan is all about giving you a bunch of shit. They basically giving you a bunch of things that aren't really tangibles. As demonstrated through his actions to initiate investment into opportunity zones as well as address health disparity, wage gaps, necessary education reform, he works every day to advance a fair and just America for the black community. No, fuck that. Every city that I'm in, every hood that I'm in, we just got finished talking about Chicago. You go to the west side of Chicago, man, that shit look like Beirut. Fuck up out of here. When you really start driving through Chicago, Chicago look like Beirut. So why is it that the white communities got things like Subway, Culver, Hardee's, Sonic, and then you got Hurl's Chicken and shit in the ghetto in Chicago? Something about that don't sound right. That don't make no motherfucking sense. Hurl's Chicken is what they put in the ghetto. Why? Why? Why is this? Black folks need those contracts to go in, and if they really want to come to us with a black agenda, I understand what Claude Anderson is talking about. But let's start off with the simple shit. You know, because he wants to build transit trains and all that shit. Fuck that, man. Fuck all that. Like I understand that, and if folks want to vote for that, or folks are rolling with that, then cool. If that's the agenda that us as the black community that we are on, cool. But let's start out with simple shit. Like, how about we create a Black Works program where we rip up all of these fucking streets in the black communities that got big ass potholes in it. And y'all know what I'm talking about, all of the real black folks where you in communities where they got potholes the size of motherfucking craters. Look like a meteor that struck in the middle of the motherfucking street. How about we fix all of that? Float some concrete out there and fix all of the black streets in the black neighborhoods. After we fix the black streets up, then we buy tractors and run tractors through the hood. Once we go and run tractors through the hood, we want to cut down all of the tall grass. We want to clean up the community, throw all of the fucking trash away. We want to wipe down all of the blocks where it's vacant houses. Cause y'all know, man, it's some, you can go in the black community and it'll be a street with 2 houses that actually got people living in it, and the rest of them is run down, dilapidated, and they are eyesores. So how about we just wipe out all of those old houses and just start building new houses with new bathrooms, new appliances, new kitchen work, new tubs. Make the black community somewhere where you can take pride in it. How about we replace every store that's in the black community? How about we get sent to school and we learn how to create our own cell phone company? Because just during my time, I'm going to tell you what I done seen in the black community. You don't ever find none of the real phone stores in the black community. You ever notice that shit? You don't find none of the major carriers in the black neighborhoods. You don't find AT&T. You don't find T-Mobile. You might find Sprint, but it won't be an actual Sprint store. It'll be a Sprint kiosk where they can activate a Sprint phone at a motherfucking desk or a kiosk. You can get some Sprint service, but it won't be a full-blown store. It's no T-Mobile. You get the same little Nextel chirp burner phone shit. All of them are in the black community. So first we had Nextel. Nextel left, then we had Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile came out, then they went to US Cellular. US Cellular phased out, then they went to Cricket. Then they got all this other shit, Track Phones and Mobile One and Link Mobile and all of that shit. So how about we get our own cell phone company? All right. Next I'm going to tell you what we need. We need wood. You know, something simple. We need our own wood mines. We need a place to go and get our own wood forms or whatever. We shouldn't have to go through everybody else to get our wood. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to go through everybody to get our wood. We need somebody in place to where we can go and buy our wood from a black source. These are simple things that we need. Because when you start talking about generational wealth, black folks be talking about shit that they want, but they don't even understand what it actually is. Folks who got generational wealth, they make it seem like it's some broad ass ideas all the way out in the clouds somewhere right here where my hands are where you can't see it at. But generational wealth is right here. So if you got a black toilet paper company Think of how much money you can make. If you got some black made paper towels, or what if they got a black Windex company? Or what if you made some black folks have motor oil? Or what if we had black toothbrush company? In the ghetto or in black society, you see black folks venturing out and doing business in the same way. Out here for the longest, every black person would sell bootleg DVDs, bootleg CDs. Girls would do CNA work, they would do some hair on the side, and that's that. Folks could come, you have one set of people that do credit repair, and some folks might do tax services. I'm just saying. This is what the black community is. We gotta start showing up at the meeting, asking questions, demanding actions. We have to take our opinions further than the conversation within ourselves. Well, this is the thing. They put Ice Cube out there, and the power structure put Ice Cube out there to speak for all of black society. I ain't got nothing against Cube, but my only question is where was the gangster rap Cube at? Where's the gangster rap Cube at? Where is the Ice Cube at that's gonna say, fuck the police coming straight from the underground? That's the Cube we want. We don't want to hear, well, listen, I'm willing to take a meeting with anybody at the table. No. Where is they going to talk about the real issues? When is it? I was waiting on him to say, black folks built this nation. I was waiting on him to say the first industries in America were built off of slave labor. It was built off of slave principles. The first currency in this country was slave labor. When you paying, listen, when you paying money, you're not actually paying money. Money in and of itself is basically nothing. It's just paper. When you are exchanging money, you are exchanging slave labor for something. You got $42. This is $42 of slave labor. All them dollars in your pocket, them ducats as they call them in the ghetto, that represents slave labor. I got $42 of labor in my pocket. Okay? A billionaire. I got $1 billion worth of slave labor at my disposal. That's what money is. So how is it that we could get some of this money back? Fuck making Juneteenth a national holiday. The fuck? What was you doing on Juneteenth? What the fuck made that day so special? 4th of July coming up in 2-3 weeks anyway. Let's talk about the real issue. Opportunity zones. Let's talk about purifying the air in the black community, because they set up highways, they set up factory plants, they put all type of bullshit like chemtrails in the air in the black community. Y'all ever go out to the country in whatever city you from and notice that the air out there smell different, it tastes different? I mean, come on. Why is it that when you are in the ghetto, you never see a deer running across your yard? Like, how the fuck is it that deers know stay the fuck out of the ghetto, but if you out in the one of your white friends' house or your uncle's house who may stay out in white folks' land, you notice that it's deers and shit that run across the yard at night. So what is it that the deer know that we don't know? What do the deers know that we don't know? Ask yourself that. Have y'all ever thought about that shit? What do the deers know that we don't know? Until we fix the economical disparities, we are always going to have a black community that's in a state of turmoil. Period. You always going to have a black community that's in a state of turmoil. Until you fix the real, true underlying issues. How is it that we can really have fruitful marriages in the United States when myself, I came up during the gangster rap era? A young black man and a young black woman today are the furthest apart that they have ever been in the history of the United States. Keep it real. Because right now they are programming men to fuck other men, and they are programming women to say they don't need a man and suck pussy. We built this country to this day. There's a huge effect on this country, but somehow we are still known treated to be. I ain't seen no deers in the ghetto. I lived in the ghetto for over 20 years. I never saw a deer. And still in the same shape that we are. We ain't got nothing better as a culture, period. And they know it. Look at this plan. Give black churches the ability to compete for federal resources in their community. But why though? Why? That don't make sense. But why? Yeah, well, we know that you're going to have foxes, but you don't see, I've never seen a deer. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Never have seen that. And if you do see a deer, it'll be one single deer. And you be like, man, how the fuck you get all the way out here? It had you wondering shit. Real talk, it had you wondering shit for real. I'm just saying though. That's the question that I want to know. That's what I want to know, y'all. You grew up near a park with plenty of trees. Oh, that's good. Anyway, my dissertation of all of this is that the gangster rap and these gangster rappers have put the black community in a state of limbo and essentially set us back some time. All of these guys were people who were, what's the right word for me to say? How can I put this? All of these folks, these gangster rappers and all of that, these folks, they sold one doctrine, a false doctrine, to young black boys, and then they sold another doctrine to young black women because these were really homosexuals. A lot of these gangster rappers are homosexuals, low key. So they put the black women in the videos as the hoes. And so, especially for my era, you had black women coming up, and these were the industry hoes, the Trinas of the world, and Kaya, and all of that shit, the Khalees's, all of them came up during my time. Now, they gave way to the Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's, and the Megan Thee Stallions because they made hoeing seem like it was the thing to do. Where's the positive imagery? Where was the out-processing of these bullshit thoughts at? Why is it that all of these guys who were gangster rappers, why is it that all of them were married with families, with children, with love in their heart, and love for their woman, but they told you, fuck that bitch, fuck that hoe, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. They told you, listen, I ain't tripping off of these hoes. This is what they told you. This is what they told you. So with that being said, I'm gonna go over here. Well, thanks for tuning in to Opinionated. I appreciate you. Now let me go ahead and take y'all to the bridge.
Watch the sniper, time to pay the paper, and let that real shit provoke. See, you so wanna be low, then you'll get smoked. And I hope that your fans understand when you talk about spraying me. The same records that you're making is paying me. Motherfuck Dre, motherfuck Snoop, motherfuck Roll. Yo, and here comes my left blow, cause I'm the EAZYE, and this is the season to the real motherfucking G's in. You're like a kid, your father pumping, now you're dapper, but tell me where the fuck your father anorexic rapper. Talking about who you go squabble with and who you shoot. You're only 60 pounds when you're wearing boots.
Damn, E, they tried to fade you on Dre Day.
But Dre Day only meant easy payday. All of a sudden, Dr. Dre is the G thing, but on his old album covers, he was a she thing. So please, nigga, please don't step to these motherfucking real G's.
Every day it's a new rapper, claiming to be dapper than the Tracer, sober than a bitch, but betrayed the role of gangster. Ain't broke a law in your life, yet every time you rap, you yap the guns and knife. Just take a good look at the nigga and you'll capture the fact that the bastard is simply just an actor who mastered the bang and the slang and the myth of niggas in Compton, Watts, and South Central. Never ever once have you ran with the turf, but yet in every verse claim you used to do the dirt. But tell me who's a witness to your fucking work? See, you never handle business, so stay the drama jerk. Niggas try to kill me, knowing that they pranksters. This is going out to your studio gangsters. See, I did dirt, put in work, and many niggas can vouch that. So since I got strength, I got to rap about that. When niggas like you, I kinda hate ya, cause I'm just tired of suburban niggas talking about they come for projects, knowing you ain't see no point parts of the streets, G. Think you started trying to bang around the top of the beach, streety. Wearing khakis and my while your rhyme, little fag, trying to sing, but you're flooding at the same time. And your set don't accept you. Scared to kick it with your homies, cause you know they don't respect you. So nigga, please check nuts before you step to these motherfucking real G.
Well, it's the knockout definition, original baby gangster. Approach me like you hoard, motherfucker. I'ma bank ya, shank with my fucking shank. If I